It has been a week since at least Jawan released.
अब और क्या चाहिए?
एक गाना सुनाइए ना.
Starring Shah Rukh Khan, Nayantara, Deepika Padukone, Vijay Sethupathi among others, the film had a record-breaking opening. Critically, it has received mixed reviews. Audiences down south felt that the film was a remix of all the popular commercial films of recent times. This includes Vikram and Jailer as well. In fact, there are videos on YouTube where audiences list out all the movies that they were reminded of while watching Jawan. In the north, however, the hype is real. Shah Rukh Khan's avatar in the film, one that exudes nothing but superstardom, is being enjoyed in theaters with great fervor. His monologue at the end has also got fans believing that this is the actor's response to his fans and his critics in reference to everything that has happened in his personal life. Beyond this, Shah Rukh also gets the treatment that all the superstars down south have been receiving, that of placing him on a pedestal, showering him with adulation, and portraying his character as something that is larger than life. Shah Rukh's intro scene of him waking up to prayers of people who are getting beaten up by men in uniform, of men committing atrocious crimes, induces goosebumps, establishing the superstardom of him being larger than life. Shah Rukh Khan was able to fit into the shoes of this as an actor and also as a star. But how about we look beyond Shah Rukh Khan and how Atlee managed to resurrect one of Bollywood superstars? X, which was formerly Twitter, is definitely an interesting place to see where audiences stand when it comes to films. What are their reactions? Do they like it? Do they not like it? Are they trashing it or are they appreciating it? These are thoughts that I have been very interested in. It has been a hobby of mine to go through these reactions as it definitely adds a unique perspective to my own opinion of the film. So I had some thoughts after going through the reactions to Jawan. Yes, there was definitely a lot of hate from certain section of the public. There was also a huge amount of trolling, which we will now keep aside. The most interesting observations I noticed was, however, about Jawan being an Indian film, that it felt like an Indian film more than a Hindi film. This is true to a certain extent, and at this day and age where every region is set on making pan Indian films, it may even seem obvious that Jawan comes across as an Indian film and not a Hindi film. However, the definition of what an Indian film means here is what is important to notice. When people said that Jawan felt like an Indian film, what they mean is that the film lacks stereotypes that is usually included in other films. Let's not forget Chennai Express. The stereotypes of not just regions but religions as well is absent in Jawan to a large extent. In fact, one of the things that I really liked in this film was to choose a woman in burqa to make an example out of in a very important scene. When many films are Islamophobic in their portrayal of Muslim characters, Atlee has managed to get people to feel for a woman in a burqa. It is a very small step, but it is present in Jawan, a film that has been watched by thousands of people across the country. The change that this can bring might be minuscule, but it is still important, especially in the face of issues such as hijab row in our country. Coming to the next point, in Bigil, one of the biggest criticisms that Atlee, the director of Jawan, had received was for painting Vijay's character as a savior to the girls in his football team, instead of as a companion. Vijay came across as a man who took decisions by himself for the women in his life. In Jawan, however, Atlee has moderately corrected this. Azad, played by Shah Rukh Khan, is the chief, and the women in his team are his family. They plan each revenge assignment together, and this eases the audience to a certain extent. Here in Jawan, Azad does not make the decisions for the women in his life. He makes the decisions with them, and the plans that they come up with together are also put in action together. The result of each plan is not just Azad's victory but also the women's victory. If one digs into the politics of the film, it is definitely shallow. Take for instance the intro scene of Shah Rukh Khan. It is of people who look like they belong to the northeastern part of India. The men who are beating these people up are men in uniform, and this is indicative of the violence that occurs in these regions between the officials and the local tribes. The film doesn't put a finger on which state, city, or district this is happening in, and instead draws attention to the horror that is being committed. It is more a nod to the events that occur in our country away from the limelight and not so much a solid investigation. So, Jawan in this sense is not comparable to political films made by directors such as Mari Selvaraj or Paranjat. Yet, to see Shah Rukh Khan ask his audience to take accountability for the people that they vote for in the end of the film was exhilarating. That is why, despite the flaws in the film, political and otherwise, Jawan worked for me.